Welcome to the Charleston Marketing Podcast, brought to you by the Charleston AMA and broadcasting from our friends at Charleston Media Solutions Studios. Thanks to our awesome sponsors at CMS, we get to chat with the cool folks making waves in Charleston. From business and art to hospitality and tech, these movers and shakers choose to call the Lowcountry home. They live here, work here, and make a difference here. So what's their story? Let's find out together.
Welcome to the Charleston Marketing Podcast, folks. Mike Compton here, Roombo Advertising, and also your president of the Charleston Marketing Association. I'm here with rookie co-host Tom Kepler.
Nice to be here. Good
Say
to see you,
hello,
Mike.
Tom. What's going on, bud? And I say Kepler, right?
Yeah,
I did.
absolutely.
I've been practicing the whole way here. How do you say his last name? Kepler.
Yeah,
Kepler.
say it like 2 syllables, spell it like 3.
You can tell he's a communications guy over
bet.
here. Tom's got a voice for radio too, a face for radio as well to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
We are here with Q Moldrik. I said Moldrik, right? No?
You said it right.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
All right, look at me. I'm rocking it out. Q is, what are you, president? What are you?
CEO and founder.
CEO and founder of Legacy Digital. Amazing. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Super excited to have you, Q. You're a badass. At least that's what I've seen, when you come to our events and your digital marketing is awesome. Your Instagram is sick. And your team seems to be growing constantly.
Yes, we keep getting bigger and bigger.
Talk about your
It's
agency
crazy.
real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So my spiel when I'm talking to anybody, whether it's a new client or a partner, we consider ourselves a boutique full-service digital marketing agency based out of Charleston, servicing clients nationwide. Why I say boutique is I think there's power in boutique because it has a more in-house approach versus being a large agency or a large conglomerate where you're just a number or a task for the day. So, and we're not huge. We have 14 employees, which for me, that's pretty big. That's the biggest our company's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we do everything from branding, content creation, social media management, SEO, PPC, meta paid ads, email marketing, reputation management, website builds. So anything digitally we can create for your brand, and if we cannot do it, we have a partner that could do it for you.
Lovely. Where are you from, Q?
I am from State College, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. You're part of the problem, just like me.
What'd you study to get into this line of work?
Yeah, so I'm from State College, and I also went to Penn State. So I studied hotel, restaurant, institutional management because at the time I thought I was going to take over my family's business. One of their businesses, a hotel restaurant management company. So they have a bunch of restaurants and hotels, and that was my mindset. I'm going to take over the family business. Yes. So my grandfather, who's built, an amazing empire for his family, is a big believer in going to college, going out, getting experience, and then coming back and bringing it to the family. So I got my degree. I went out. I actually moved to D.C., Washington, D.C. for about 4 or 5 years after, and was mainly in the back end of hospitality. I definitely worked in restaurants and hotels and, spent my time in the service industry. But my job after college was in basically project management for POS and PMS systems. So property management systems for hotels and point of sale systems for restaurants.
Sure.
Very long story short, my mom lived in Pawleys Island, Murrells Inlet area, and I was visiting her, and I wanted to make a lifestyle change, and I moved to Charleston in 2016.
Nice. Nice.
So a lot of client focus, no matter what you're doing, whether you're working in hospitality or what you're doing now, it seems like there's something within you that drives toward helping people satisfy their needs and get something good out to the world.
Absolutely. I'm the oldest of 5 kids. I'm the oldest of 17 grandchildren on my mom's side. I have first child syndrome like no other. I love process. I love people. I love control in a productive way, and I'm exactly where I need to be right now in my company. If you put me in any other role in my company, I would fall flat on my face, but I love working with people. That's why I'm in the sales role. I love solving people's problems, and I love creating bringing ideas to reality.
Yes, so much fun. One thing that I've learned over the years too, and I feel like everybody should be a part of the hospitality industry in some way or somehow.
Very humbling.
I do come from the hospitality business as well. My dad ran bars and restaurants up on Mackinac Island.
Okay.
And I grew up there every summer, went to the island, loved it, got married on the island. It's my island, by the way. Nobody knows that. Now they do. But my point being, bartending, serving tables, it's so humbling, and you get to learn how to talk to all sorts of people.
Oh yeah, all different personalities. I was actually we had a workshop this morning with my team, and one of my employees said that she had a nightmare last night, and I was like, did you ever have like nightmares when you're in the hospital? Like, did you ever work in hospitality? If so, did you ever have like server nightmares where you are serving a table and you leave for 5 days and you don't get them water, you forget their order, and you come back and you're like, sorry about it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like if you worked in the hospitality industry, you have those nightmares.
That wasn't a nightmare for me in my first job out of Clarkston, Michigan. Mr. B's Roadhouse fired me.
Yeah.
You know why? I couldn't figure out the POS system.
Oh, well.
I think it was like 18, 19 at the time, right? Exactly,
Yep.
full circle.
My first job was as a
stop.
dishwasher when I was 14.
Yeah.
Worked my way up to cook.
Mm-hmm.
It really builds character.
It really does. It does, and especially with this next generation coming into the world, I think for me, when I have a family, my children will be working in the hospitality industry, even if it's for 1 to 2 years. It just humbles you a little bit, you know.
You talk about family just now, so you're going to grow your roots here in Charleston.
Oh yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Same.
I love it here.
Love it here too. So you came here in
2016.
2016, 3 years before me. I got here in 2019 as way of Tampa. And did you come straight from Pennsylvania?
No, so from Washington, D.C.
Washington. Oh man, cutthroat D.C.
Loved it there though. That was like one of my prime elements of my life. But I had to close that chapter, or wouldn't have put my roots down anywhere.
Yeah.
It's a fun city.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. But Charleston, and so you're in Mount Pleasant, you said earlier.
Yeah,
Nice.
I moved here in 2016, and I was actually working remotely for the project management company for hospitality, and I ended up getting into a magazine here. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's Oblique Health and Wellness. It's a fitness, health, wellness, beauty, fashion, any lifestyle. It had been around for about 17 years when I joined it. And I just joined part-time selling magazine ads, which was really hard to do, even in 2016. You know, print, unfortunately, I think print's a beautiful thing, and I learned so much about the art of print back then, but it's a dying art. And I went to the publisher, and he was so amazing, and I give a lot of credit to where I am today because of him. His name's John G. Giovanni, and he really gave me full reign to build whatever I wanted to in the magazine, and my biggest focus was building a digital side of the sales package. So when you buy a magazine ad, we're going to bring in videographers and photographers to film experiential components of the business. You know, so we'll put on a mock client coming in and doing a fitness class and you know, showcasing their experience. So then they have digital assets and they have print assets.
They didn't have that before you, Q.
Nope, they didn't.
Wow.
And it really helped the magazine bring a lot more awareness to it. It grew the thickness of the magazine, and it was one of the best jobs I've ever had in my life.
Cool.
Is actually how I got super connected in Charleston, because I'm going out and I'm selling magazine ads to all these small businesses in Charleston, predominantly the health and wellness industry. It's how I met my husband. He's in health and wellness, and it was amazing. And then COVID hit. So the magazine, unfortunately, shut down. What's COVID?
What is COVID? What do you mean?
Time for a pivot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a big pivot. I had a choice then. I didn't know what to do. My husband at the time had his business thrived during COVID. He was a personal trainer, and he opened up a gym out of his garage or one of our friends' garages, and he was training 1 to 2 people at a time. And all the gyms were shut down. All the restaurants were shut down. All the grocery stores were shut down. So, you know, people had access to that. And we ended up building an e-commerce company where we sold, it was called the 14-day quarantine detox, because it was like the freshman 15. Like during quarantine, we all gained weight and we were super inactive and
drinking.
All the things. And it sold like hotcakes. So we were able to really thrive during COVID, and his business, once COVID started releasing a lot of the restrictions, started growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So we opened up a vegan meal prep company. That was like,
of course you did.
Yeah. So we had e-commerce and personal training and vegan meal prep company. And I was really focused on growing and scaling his business. But I don't know if you guys have worked with your significant others before, but you have. Yeah, exactly. Most people are like, why the fuck would you do that? But we did it for about 4 or 5 years. And my mindset during that time frame was, if I could do this for the magazine and if I could do this for my husband, why can't I do this for other people?
Yeah,
so
sure.
during that time frame, I started bringing on other clients from the marketing standpoint, very much so solopreneur focus. I'm the queen. I tell my team all the time, like, fake it till you make it. But as long as you're making it on the back end, like you could say yes to something, but make sure you go and educate yourself on it after. So very self-taught. Like I don't have a background in marketing, but I taught myself a lot.
Sure.
I launched Q Consulting Services during that time frame. So my husband was my biggest client, and I started bringing on other clients, mainly in the health and wellness industry. And I did everything. You want a website, you want a CRM, you want me to build an event for you, you want to do a partnership, anything, I'll do it. And the common denominator was always social media marketing. So I ended up branching out into real estate. I had some friends who were like, hey, I need my social media for my real estate. That led to more real estate clients. And this is where the biggest pivot in my life happened, was when I met Tim Bratz. So he is my now business partner for Legacy Digital, but he is a multifamily real estate investor, and he has a big presence on social media, and he hired me to help with his ascension plan. So he had social media, and then he had this big ticket mastermind, which was very expensive, but he didn't really have these progressive steps to get there. So he wanted to figure out, okay, once someone follows me, how do I get them to that mastermind? So I helped him build out an ascension model, like kind of, let's do a free webinar, and then we'll have a Facebook group for $10, and then we'll have a 2-weekend webinar that's $200, and then we'll basically build into that so people start trusting you, and then if they get that much value out of such little spend, why wouldn't they get your mastermind ticket? So he really loved what I did. He has a crazy audience. He has almost 100,000 followers on social media, and his mastermind has several hundred entrepreneurs that are in it. So he really loved what I did so much, he tried to hire me. And he was like, listen, shut down your business, come work for me and run my marketing. And I was like, no, I got something going here. Like, I really feel like, I'm going to grow my business. I had like 8 clients and had it all figured out. And he was like, all right, cool, then I'm going to buy your business. So, and that's very like typical of him. So he bought Q Consulting, and we merged together and made Legacy Digital, which launched in 2023. And that's where it all started.
I got to ask 2 questions here. What does Q stand for?
Yeah, good question. Good question. It's nothing crazy, you guys. So my real name is Susan. And what's a nickname for Susan?
Susie Q.
Susie Q.
Yeah.
So my family called me Susie Q growing up, and then Q just eventually stuck.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Love
yeah.
that. Love
Everyone
that.
thinks it's like this elaborate name.
You
but
probably
no.
hear that question
That
a lot.
and what sport did you play? And
Oh my gosh, because she's like 6'2".
yeah, I'm 6'1" and 3/4".
6'1" and 3/4,
Yeah.
like 6'2". And then where did Legacy Digital's name come from?
Yeah, so great question. My business partner, his mastermind is called Legacy Family, and we made that as Legacy Digital as an iteration of his brand, because that's how I really grew in year one, was through his network. So it's Legacy Digital instead of Legacy Family. We called it Legacy Digital.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Nice. All right.
So you mentioned as being the oldest child and the oldest grandchild in the family, this need for control.
Yes.
That must have been a leap of faith to give up some control of your business to an investor.
Oh yeah. Well, I will say, I knock on wood, like Tim is the best business partner that I could ever have. He is truly, when I remember, my grandfather's a big businessman, and when we were going through negotiations and how we wanted the partnership to be split and like who was in charge of what, Tim sat down, he goes, I want nothing to do with operations. He's like, I'm here to support you. So if you need something, you just hit me up. I have a board of directors. He has HR. He has lawyers. He has an ops guy. Like, if you need anything, they're here for you. If you need clients, I'm here for you, but I don't want to deal with the day to day.
Oh, that
And I was like,
ideal.
cool. I was like, that sounds great. And he has honored that to a T. So I don't feel as though, like, just because he might not be as active in the business, actually, I prefer that, because I don't need to go to him to get anything approved, right? He trusts me.
Sure.
He
Budget
trusts me,
approvals
right? And
Right.
that's a really good, a good partnership that we have. But I'll also go out and be like, hey man, we lost a few clients last month, and I got to get the revenue up. He like, cool, I'll get you on stage next month. I'll put you on a podcast. So
Amazing.
I am very lucky. I will say I'm very lucky. We have worked our asses off, but everyone's like, well, how do you get your leads, and how have you grown so fast? And it's because I have a really awesome business partner.
That's great.
You can't do it yourself.
Yeah.
You have to have a
No, not in this industry.
trusting
Yeah.
business partner. I'm lucky to have a business partner too out of Tampa. His name's George Zwerko. I love him to death. You can put him into another advertising agency. He would blow the water, blow the roof down. Like he's super smart guy. But my point is, like, you can't do it alone. You have to have somebody you trust to have your back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's like a mentor. It's not like somebody telling me what to do. Like, I truly could go to him and be like, oh my gosh, there's 10 options. I don't know what to do. And he would be like, this is the right door. And you're going to walk through the first door the right time and not have to deal with all the repercussions like all entrepreneurs do. Like growing a business, like we said, years 1 to 3, my business partner has this rule, like year 1, you think of agriculture. Year 1's where you plant the seeds, and we're planting a shit ton of seeds, you guys. We're putting every variation of plants we can out there.
Yes.
Right.
Year 2, and you're watering them, you're hoping they sprout, but year 2, 80% of it's going to die, right? All of your ideas, all the service models, anything that you put into your business is not going to work. But there's going to be 20% that sprout up, right? And those are the ones you want to continue to nourish, continue to water. And then by year 3, there should be a harvest, right? That's where you'll start to see that big pivot. You'll know if the business model works. So that's really what we've been focusing on. We're in year 3 of business, and perspectively, yes, you say I'm a badass, and you see me all over the internet. My social media looks cool. This shit's hard. It has not been easy. It has not been easy. But what you see on social is like, oh, we're having fun and we're branding things. No, it's been a roller coaster. But this year is our 3rd year, and it's the first time I'm like, I think I know what I'm doing.
Take a breath. Yeah. The farming analogy has been coming up. I had a conversation yesterday with Chucktown Startups, Toby Palmer, and he used that analogy because I was saying Charleston's a tough market. You have to be here for the long haul. You're not going to get the clients right away. You have to gain their trust.
Facts.
And you have to farm it almost.
Facts.
Like you're saying.
Yeah,
it's funny that this farming analogies are coming up.
Real thing. I mean, farmers aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
And neither
they
are
have
we.
the science down. We just got to follow what they're doing.
Right. So tell us about your crops in terms of the clients that you serve, right? You're in the fitness space.
Yeah.
You're in the hospitality space, I'm sure.
Yep.
What's the mix between industries, and what's the mix between in town and far afield?
Yeah, it's changed so much. So year 1, 2023.
Yeah.
I would say 90% of our business was real estate, because my business partner put me on stage, put me on his podcast, connected me with his network. And that was our big growth, like truly hockey stick growth of clients. And we wanted to be these experts in marketing in the real estate industry. So it was mainly personal brands. So you would have these thought leaders that come out that specialize in multifamily, residential, short-term rentals, destination Airbnbs, wholesaling, like really anything real estate. Sure. But we would talk about what they're selling, but we would create a whole personality behind the brand. Do they have a family? Do they travel? Do they have any hobbies? Do they work out? So you create this connection from a personal side with the real estate investor, and then you see what they're doing from the business side. So a lot of these real estate investors go to networking events and conferences, and they see each other 2 or 3 times a year. But what the social media profile does is it allows them to digitally connect, and they could see what's going on with their projects, what travels are going on, like anything in their life. So next time they see them, they could be like, hey man, I saw you have a deal in Ohio. I just landed $100K in like cash. I need to deploy it somewhere. I love what you represent. Like I'm a family man too. I work out all the time and I travel. I'd love to connect more and see what we could do together. So it expedites that networking process.
Sure.
So that really, we've noticed with social media, with these personal brands in real estate, deals are happening in the DMs, which is crazy. Like my business partner raises millions of dollars in his DMs just because he is so consistent online. He's so vulnerable and transparent about deals that work, deals that don't work. He doesn't go on and he's not flashy about things. He's real and honest.
Right.
And that creates trust with his followers, and those followers might have cash to deploy in some capacity. So that's what, in a normal environment without social media, that takes time, right? You have to one of my mentors says you have to take someone out on a date a few times, date them a few times before you get married, right?
Of course.
This expedites the process. So that worked really, really well for us. But I have a team of Gen Zers, and I know there's a stigma against Gen Zers, but my team is fucking incredible, absolutely incredible, and they defy the Gen Z world. Trust me, we've had our issues, right? But I think once we get through that hump, you know, they're actually very, very strong employees. But they weren't having a lot of fun in those roles with personal brands working in real estate, and they wanted to spread out and get more local, which I wanted to get back to my roots with the magazine. So one of our big goals in year 2 was, okay, let's maintain our real estate niche, but let's start tapping into local business and fun clients in Charleston where we could have a hands-on approach, feet on the ground approach. So our big goal for 2024 was getting local, getting back into the Charleston market and getting a name for ourselves then. And that's when we won Charleston Choice and Best of Charleston, and started really, that's where Legacy Digital started showing up. And we have, I would say, about 70 to 80% of our clients are now local. We made a huge shift from nationwide real estate in 2023 to local businesses in Charleston. And I would say that's our ratio now. But we work with MediSpas, we work with gyms, we work with interior designers, we work with e-commerce products, we work with fishing charters, like literally you name it, we've done it. So I used to be like so focused on the riches or in the niches, but I actually like the diversity. It's a lot more fun. It's a little bit more challenging in a productive way. And I love the balance of the types of clients we have right now.
You can tell you're having fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Instagram feed is telling you're having fun, and more importantly, your employees are having fun.
Yes.
Your team's having fun. And why is that important?
Culture is everything. You know, if my team's not happy, then my clients aren't happy. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it is the reality of the situation. You know, I just went to a conference, and one of my mentors was talking about having an Amazon culture and a Google culture. Amazon is like, there's process, like strict process. You show up on time, you're wearing your uniform. It's very, 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 very dialed in. Still successful business. Then you have a Google culture, which is more lax, a little bit more, you have a little bit more freedom. You kind of could go take naps on your breaks and play ping pong in the office, but still a really successful business, right? So they both work. It's just, you know, what are you comfortable with? Now, me being a control freak, I want that Amazon structure, but I realize that doesn't work well with my team. My team really does well when they have autonomy, and when they have autonomy, I could trust them, and then I don't have to be such a control freak, right? So I think that's something I really push with our team is positive culture and creating autonomy in their roles so they could treat their clients as if they were their own, and we don't have to be micromanaging them on everything.
Yes.
So
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, where do I sign up?
Yeah, we're hiring.
Men not allowed though, huh? You're not hiring guys? Will you ever in the future?
Yeah, we actually, people ask me that a lot. We are like a female-run business. We do work with all male videographers. But, you know, no guys apply. Like, we don't have guys apply to be social media managers. It's really a female-dominated area.
It's funny because on the videographer side, because I'm a producer, it's tough to find female videographers.
Yeah, I know a few, but from perspectively, yes, we are all girls in the office, but we have guys that we work with. We love our guys.
And do you feel like what do you bring to your clients being an all-female team? Do you feel like you bring a little sense of
emotion?
Okay.
First of all, being female and being young, I think works in our favor. Especially the majority of our clients, I would say, not all of them, but the majority are men over 40, right? So they don't know anything. They're not really dialed into the digital culture, how TikTok works.
You're talking to a couple men over 40.
Yeah,
right
well,
now,
listen, listen, like I said, if you put me in a digital manager role, I'm 35, like I wouldn't be able to do their job. They are like little ninjas when it comes to
on the cutting edge.
They are so in tune with things that sometimes just don't make sense to me, but it works, right? So, yeah. What was the question?
Oh, the female driven. What do you bring into the?
So they're definitely more emotional, more creative creatures.
Okay.
I would say. So a lot of what we do is ideating and coming up with campaigns on a daily basis, right? We have our macro campaigns that we look at, and then we have our micro campaigns that are happening in between. And that requires just like an emotional, in tune pulse on what's happening in the industry. And guys, just not saying there's no guys out there that don't have that, but the female brain just works better that way, in my opinion.
And you've got plenty to choose from as far as new talent coming in here from Charleston. Charleston is like what? College of Charleston, I think, is what, 60-40?
Yeah.
You know, and I think all of Charleston in general. And if you go back on our podcast episodes, these are some badass women.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not episode after episode, and we're still interviewing badass women today. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's just,
I love it.
It kind of blew my mind when I got here in 2019, 2020, like the amount of smart, strong female presence here. I'm all in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all in. But
I think it's amazing. My brother actually goes to College of Charleston, and he's like 6'5", 6'6", and the
handsome too.
Handsome man, and the ratio he's like 1 to 5, and he's like, this is great. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
You can find dates anytime he wants. Yeah, exactly. Good for him. All right, cool.
Speaking of staying on the cutting edge, what are you doing with AI? And what's exciting for you about AI, and what's scary about it?
If my team were here, they would all roll their eyes right now because I'm obsessed with it. I'm not going to say I'm an expert in it, but I am obsessed with it for a lot of different reasons. I think it's incredible what AI is doing. I think where we are right now is in a huge pivoting phase. You know, I'm a big believer. I hear a lot of agencies saying this, you know, it's important to have a human pulse on AI, but making sure if your AI is not in your business right now, it's coming fast. It's coming hard, and it's coming fast. So when I launched Legacy Digital, it was January of 2023. 2 months before that, ChatGPT made its like big arrival. So I built my entire business off of these manual processes, and ChatGPT was released, and we still didn't, in year 1 of business, we were like, okay, we'll try it, we'll test it out. And we just weren't familiar with really how it worked. But I will say in 2024 and 2025, it is an integral part to our business. I'm very involved with I don't know if you've heard of the Macon Marketing AI. It's
Tell us more.
Marketing AI podcast. I've been listening to it for 3 years now. I've been going to their conferences every year. And you go there and it's like drinking out of a fire hose. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to change everything. And I come back after these conferences and I'm like, we're changing everything, ladies. And they're like, sit down. Like, thank God they are the calm to my crazy. Because as an entrepreneur, you're in constant fear of like, oh, is this going to wipe me out? We have to start now. We have to get ahead of the game. We have to change this tool and add this new service model in. And they're like, bro, chill out.
And then you're constantly chasing the next thing.
We're entrepreneurs. Shiny object syndrome is a real thing. And, you know, it definitely comes from a fear mindset. So when you say, are you scared? Yeah, I definitely am. But what I love about myself is I'm a very proactive person, very, very proactive, not reactive. And we've been using AI since it was released. We've been testing out a lot of AI over the last several years, and we have a lot of AI service models coming soon in our business. Do I think it's going to be our biggest revenue generator? Not right away, but I know that when that big transition does happen, we're going to be ahead of the curve on it.
Sure.
Great.
But yeah, I would say like guys, AI has been around forever, right? It's just like not as prominent as it is right now. So I actually just hired an R&D intern. Her name is Jenna Thrift, and she's amazing. She actually used to work with Dig South, and she also helps me like stay balanced. So I'll go out and be like, okay, Google just released this new thing. We're paying for Google. Slack just released this thing for AI. We're paying for that. Like whatever tech stack we have, she's constantly going into our tech stacks and learning about the AI functionalities that are being used and what we're currently paying for, so we can continuously optimize our processes that are already in place, if that makes sense, versus me being like, we're changing this system out and putting this new system in. So that's one of her big roles. And then also going out, and we're working on building out some AI brains right now. I don't want to talk too much about it, but basically it's like ChatGPT for what we do for our business. And it's really, really exciting. And it could potentially change our entire process of our business. So it's still in its infancy stages, but I am keeping a pulse on a lot of different components, and we do have new service models releasing as well.
The fact that you're a small agency, Tom, and you've hired somebody to research and develop this thing, That's the smartest thing I've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
That's the biggest piece of advice I could give to any business, no matter what industry you're in, is hire either an AI consultant or hire somebody part-time just to continuously research what's happening in your industry with AI and how it can be implemented.
Right. Because you're out there selling, you don't have the time and the bandwidth to stay abreast of all this.
Correct. I mean, I do both because I do genuinely enjoy it. And like, I have to, if I'm selling, I have to talk about it. I have to, again, we've talked about this earlier, know enough to be dangerous. But my team, they're the ones that take it and make it real.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, okay, I think this is good. I think this is why it's good. This is what I think we should implement. And I do respect their opinion because a lot of them have been with me since my previous company. And, you know, if they're like, nope, this is not a good idea right now, we'll do that in Q1 of 2026. I respect it.
Yeah.
But I also know they're hungry and they're go-getters and they are invested in this company just as much as I am.
Sure.
From, you know, not like a financial standpoint, but like just a passion standpoint. So yeah, we have good barometers of like, okay, we're gonna do this now. We're gonna put this off in the pipeline till later. But there's always this constant influx of like new concepts that we could be implementing.
Q, real quick, you speak really fast and I love it. But for the listeners and me taking notes, it was the MAP. What was it called? The AI Marketing Podcast?
Oh, Macon. The AI Marketing Podcast is Marketing AI Podcast. It's on Spotify. Yeah. But I go to Macon, MAICON. They have this massive conference once a year and it's amazing. It's one of the coolest conferences I've ever been to. I go there and I feel like the dumbest person in the room, and I like that.
That's
you know,
me
I
too.
think,
I like
yeah.
that.
So
I'm right now, actually.
Yeah, and I send my girls to. We go to Social Media Examiner. That's a big conference once a year we go to, and I'm big on educating our team and making sure that we could. Even if we take away one nugget, you know, we could apply it to our business.
Yep.
But Macon by far is one of my favorites.
Macon.
Yeah.
Copy.
Yep.
Got it. Noted.
Yep.
One of the things you say on your website, and you've said plenty of times before, is the great creative needs a great backbone.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you, I mean, you've got such a diverse client set. Yeah. They've all got different creative ideas. You've got creative ideas for them.
Mm-hmm.
They're all saying different things.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you keep that boutique feel and have each of your clients have a different voice?
Yeah.
And share a backbone in common.
Yeah.
From a systems perspective, how do you marry those two things together so that you can have so many stories to tell, but scale at the same time?
Absolutely. So if I were to give it one word, it's process and SOP, standard operating procedures. We, again, niched everything towards real estate in the beginning. So our systems were hyper-focused towards that type of audience. But now that we have multiple industries, multiple creative concepts that we have to keep up with, having processes in place in a team that follows those processes are key. So the way our process works, no matter what industry you're from, I sell, let's say, branding and social media to a client. The first step they go through, we have diligent step-by-step SOPs that with Loom videos that our team follows. They also have a branding manager. Her name's Garrett Dixon. She is phenomenal, that oversees the entire process. So my team, you have that, you know, that human approach to the process that's keeping a pulse on everything step by step by step. So every client follows the same steps, but within those steps, there's creative caveats, right? So during the branding process, we have a branding questionnaire that we send out. This branding questionnaire has hundreds of questions on it, but we will go in and delete all the questions that aren't applicable to that client. So we'll go through, and that questionnaire then is customized towards that client. We'll sit down and we'll have several hours of conversations with them, and then we'll be able to take that and implement it into what we call a campaign. Now, our campaigns we look at from a perspective 90 to 120 days in advance. So, for example, if you're a restaurant and you are releasing a gift card discounted program like for Black Friday, or you have a new menu being released during the season, or you have a specialty cocktail menu for Valentine's, we'll pre-film all of that content for you. So that way, the day before Valentine's Day, you're like, shit, we got to film our Valentine's. So we're thinking in advance of what it looks like, but we're also thinking in the moment, which is a big tagline of ours, how we could constantly create new, fun, trendy content. Now, what differentiates us from everybody else, from the creative and technical, is most agencies give their employees or social media managers, we call them digital managers, 10 to 15 clients. Our girls are maxed out at 6 clients. So that way they are able to pivot from creative person, like go from a gym to a real estate client, and they have the capacity to pivot with those clients versus
nimble.
like being overstimulated and just pumping out deliverables to get them out.
Right.
So I think capacity is a big thing when it comes to how we could maintain technical and process with creative. We also are trying, just because we're so diverse right now in the clients that we work with, we're trying to have our team, like one girl's really honed in on our restaurants. Another girl's really honed in on the personal brands. Another girl's really honed in on e-commerce products. So they become kind of experts in that field so that they can maintain some neutrality in their process. And they have creative similarities between clients, but it's not like they have to take one hat on and put another hat on. So yeah, that's pretty much how we balance it.
Keeps you high touch and nimble at the same time.
Yeah. I think capacity is a huge thing in this industry. Like we're creatives at the end of the day. Like I can't be creative with 15 clients, right? But with 6, and we tried that. I was like revenue. Like let me sell as many clients as we can. And my girls were like, how do you want me to take 15 clients, 10 clients, and you want me to post on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and you want me to post 7 days a week on each.
Nobody's going to stick around.
No one's going to. Well, it's just, they're just checking boxes. There's no intention behind the creative. So we okay, we'll go to 9 clients, then we go to 8 clients, and we finally found that the soft spot was about 5 or 6 clients.
Yeah.
And sometimes one client counts as like 3 clients, you have those clients. So we do bandwidth, measurements quarterly. So we'll look at, we'll sit down with our digital managers and we'll be like, hey, we know this is a client that is texting you from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. on the weekends, like constantly you're on phone calls and they're a high need client. Okay, so that's a discussion that we have to have with them, but we're not going to put another client on your radar right now because you are too in the weeds right now.
Yeah.
So bandwidth and capacity is huge when it comes to staying creative and technical.
And it keeps your clients happy and it keeps your employees happy. And that's continuity that nets out revenue over time.
Yeah. And we had to figure that out, right?
Yeah,
that wasn't like something I figured out right away. It was through like my team being burnt out, my clients being pissed because they're not getting quality work, right? So it's like, okay, what's the solution here? It's not AI. It's relieving capacity and raising prices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right. You want to know something really crazy? I'm just now looking at, so we did this Google Docs with your questions on there, and on the top it says, bring your doc to life with video.
Oh, yeah.
Use a doc to create engaging videos with AI in Google Vids, now available in your plan.
Yeah.
That's the first I've seen.
Yeah.
That.
So now this is my demise when all our platforms have these little notifications that come up. I message my R&D intern. I'm like, learn about this. Do we need to do this? I did it today. We were in a workshop and I was like, that we had a different notification come up and it was like these new services that Google has. I'm like, learn about it. So that's something that gets us in trouble though. Like, where we're in a very highly stimulated industry where it's like shiny, 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 shiny. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Is this important? If I don't do it now, am I going to, so that's where I have that R&D intern to come in and be like, chill, or like actually this would be highly beneficial for you guys.
What's her name?
Jenna Thrift.
Jenna, look up Augie.studio. That's a local. Have you heard of Augie.studio?
Yeah.
That's a great text, to video platform.
That's
my buddy JT's on it.
Yeah, that's a big service that we're going to be launching this year.
And not to get off your topic, but on the AMA side of things, we're going to go into MarTech.
Yep.
So we're going to be able to bring in the agencies, the marketing teams, more tech tools to use.
Yeah.
And they're all local startups. They're all local founders.
I love that. It's important. It's hard, like when you're so in the grind. This industry isn't like you could really wake up and clock out. Like you're constantly stimulated. It's good to have resources, and I'm very big on joining masterminds and groups and educating myself on what's going on, because I can't do it all, right? So it's good to bring that partnership component into it to marry services in a productive way. And I think we talked about this earlier. Charleston is, in my opinion, a very collaborative area. And I have found so many amazing partnerships because I used to want to do it all by myself. I wanted everything in-house. I had in-house videographers and photographers and editors and SEO and paid ads. And then I was like, wait a second, this is way too much overhead, way too much, like I can't even keep a payroll, keeping a pulse on everything that's going on. So my big word of this year is partnerships. It's
That's
like, where
beautiful.
can I say, hey, I want to pass this off to a true expert that could get this done the right way the first time, versus me just saying yes to have, a couple extra $1,000 on the P&L.
That can include other social media digital companies
100%.
too.
That do exactly what we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not competitors, they're collaborators.
Yeah.
Find that pro.
I actually listened to your podcast with Matchstick Social.
That's nice
and
of you.
yes. And
Oh my God, we could have talked for hours.
yeah, I love those girls. I don't know how we haven't met each other earlier,
Oh yeah, we'll
but
connect dots for sure.
yeah, well, I've met them. I met
did.
Rachel.
Okay.
She was the first person that reached out and started sending me leads. And I was
yes.
like, wow, this is really cool. And she was the first person that really made me feel like it was okay
Yes.
to reach out to other agencies. And
Love that. I'm gonna give her a hug.
so she sends me leads, and I actually brought them into a massive project that we're working on. You guys talked about it during
Okay,
the last podcast. And at that point, I don't think that we had like totally figured out the partnership yet, but we are totally dividing and conquering,
Love
right?
it.
And they have their lanes that they're staying in and they're focusing on, and we have our lanes that we're staying in and focusing on, and then we have some collaborative components to it. But it's going to be amazing, because there's no way in hell with this project we're doing that we could do it ourselves.
Correct.
We would fall flat on our face. And I say that I believe in my team, but I also know our capabilities. And with a project that's coming on that is this big, I want to maintain our reputation. I want to make
That's
sure that we can
exactly right.
continue to bring on big whale clients like this. But I also understand that we can't do it all. So
Right.
yeah, we're outsourcing a portion of it to them, and we're all on the same page, and it's going to be a beautiful partnership.
Total transparent, everything above board. This is
Yep.
how much money we're making. This is how much you're making. This is like
We had
it might take some time to build that relationship, but if you can be transparent and open about it,
Yeah.
the job can get done quicker and better.
Absolutely. We have a whole contract laid out with revenue and what they're responsible. What is black and white.
Yeah.
Like we know exactly when we hit the ground running with it, we know what we're going to do. And we
Love
won't be intersecting each other's lanes. We'll definitely have good creative feedback for one another, but that's it. We do exactly the same thing. Like, they've been around way much longer. They have way much more credibility, and they've been in the game more than we have. But we have very similar service models, but that doesn't mean I'm going to steal this client and keep it from them. And no, I'm actually, this client will be happier with the marriage of this relationship. And it's also going to create more opportunities for us to work together. So
Yes.
I'm excited for that.
That's the AMA vibe that we're pushing out.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes. I love that.
Old school mentality was just that. Why would I join another organization that has my competitors in it?
Yeah. No.
Nah, no.
I mean, why
cross that
why
off.
would you do that to yourself? You know,
It's just you're right.
You're just gonna
It's
run
like I
yourself
said,
into the
it's
ground.
An old school mentality.
we need help.
Your clients aren't going to be happy, and like I said earlier, you need a partner, and that's just not just a business partner, but that's partners in different companies, different organizations like that. So
Absolutely.
I love to hear that. And I
Yeah.
didn't even tell you about that. I didn't even prompt you to say that.
Yeah.
You just came up with that on your own.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing. It's working in Charleston. It's all working.
Yeah.
What do you got, Tom?
So Q, tell me a Charleston story here.
He's got a
right?
radio voice, doesn't he? Got a radio voice, Tom?
I started in radio, actually. I was an intern at a radio station, news radio station in Tampa.
Well, you're
So,
made for this life.
Well, thank you.
In
Thank
Tampa?
you.
That's-
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay,
absolutely. Tell me a Charleston story. Imagine I'm a startup in Charleston. And I've got $10,000 to spend on some aspect of marketing, and I want results right away.
Yeah.
What do you want? An ROI? No.
Right.
We call it A?
We call it ROO. It's return on opportunity. And so you said a startup company in Charleston, they have $10,000. What do they do with it?
What do they do with it?
Okay. Well, I want to preface a few things. What I just said, ROO. The number one question, especially working in real estate or with real estate clients, what's my ROI in 30 days? That's not how it works in marketing, especially if you're starting from the ground up. Social media, digital marketing. I mean, if you have paid ads and, PPC and whatnot, you're going to see, direct conversions. You know exactly where that conversion came from. But with social media, especially organic, it takes time. And my business partner is my favorite story to tell, because he was posting on social media for about 3 years consistently, 5 to 7 days a week, consistently posting, consistently filming, staying engaged. And it wasn't until about end of year 3, beginning of year 4, where it actually started working.
Sure.
Right. So I will say, if you have a $0 budget, get on social media, especially in the Charleston area. Like, that's literally how people research right now. Google is great. I think, if I were to say my true advice would say, make sure you have a website, make sure you have a Google business profile, and you're on Apple Maps, because the majority of the population, that's how they're doing their baseline searching, right? But when they want credibility and when they want to truly make a decision and feel the experience and what the atmosphere looks like and what the team looks like, they go to social media. And that's where the story is really told. So
it's a trust-based economy, it seems
100%.
like. Yeah.
So if you have a $0 budget, get on social media, because you could do that for free, right? It's a pain in the ass, but you will get to that point, and people love following the journey. Even if you have 200 followers, that's 200 people that are following your journey that weren't following it before. And those 200, out of those 200, maybe 10 to 15 of them become clients of yours, 3 years later. So it's a return on opportunity. But my business partner, he has people go into his DMs and be like, man, I've been following you for 3 years and I have $500,000 to deploy. Can I deploy it with you? And he's never had a conversation with them. I had another client who posted on Facebook for like 8 years, and they just posted their journeys. They had the destination real estate properties all over the world, Costa Rica, St. Martin, St. Lucia. And this one woman reached out to them one day. I was like, hey, I want to book your entire resort. I've been following you guys for like 8 years. And that right there paid for itself. Like, they booked their entire resort because they've been following the journey and they loved the experience that they offer. They love the story behind it. They provide a face behind the brand experience. And I think that social media, whether you have a $10,000 budget and you want to outsource it, or $0 budget, you should have social media. If I were consulting a client, it would be website, Google Maps, Google business profile, because I think that's a huge credibility point.
Sure.
If you don't have those and you have social media, you're like, okay, there's a disconnection here. But that would be my recommendation.
Great. Great.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're so sweet. Thank you for bringing us a little gift bag here.
Yeah.
I got the hat right here.
Yes. We have really fun merch. Yep.
What does in the moment mean again?
In the moment is our tagline. It means a lot of different things. So social media, digital is known to take you out of the moment, right? It's something where they call it rotting, or you're sitting there and you're scrolling for 3 hours. You don't even know where the time went. Yeah. So my girls call it rotting or vegging out or whatever. So it's known to take you out of the moment, but I'm a big believer. Like, I got into digital with the magazine because I'm always taking videos of people, whether it's at a family event or I'm traveling. I would create recap clips or like put together a story of everything. So I believe in pictures and videos are forever, right? That's something that allows you to take that moment and hold on to it for the rest of your life. That's why at weddings, they bring videographers and photographers. Yeah. Also in the moment, for us internally, means we have a pulse on what's happening in social media, in digital, because it's constantly changing every single day. So we have a daily Slack channel with educational components going into it, whether it's a link or it's an inspirational post of like something that's being released on social media. The girls have weekly educational meetings on what's happening. We have monthly, quarterly. We just had a 3-hour one today where we go into each platform and dissect it and what's new and what's happening and how we could apply it into our process. But yeah, that's what it means. In the moment is keeping a pulse on what's happening in the industry and looking at social as something that keeps you connected to the moment that's happening with everyone else.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I've got a cell phone full of videos and photos like you. I'd take all the videos and photos, but they never leave.
Yeah.
I never put it together like a collab, like I put it together like a little video.
Yeah.
I never can find time, or I just always forget. So I got to do that. You're inspiring me to do more of that.
It's also something like I love. Like when you're on an airplane and the Wi-Fi doesn't work, I always go on my phone and I'm like just scrolling and looking through.
Yeah, looking through memories.
Yeah. Just something.
We got pens. We got pens here.
Yeah, our pins are really great, guys. If you're ever at an event and you see our pins, please take them.
Super smart.
I've been using it throughout the interview.
Yeah.
It works
great
great.
pins.
It's
nice
not just a pen, right? But it's also you got your capabilities here.
Yeah, we have our services on the back. We actually, one of our former clients, Karst Promo, they're a local business, like a merch brand, basically. They make really, really cool merchandise. They made this for us. So it's like more than just a pen.
Little card here.
Yep,
little
leave behind
card with a QR code on
Yes, goes to our website.
You put the Q in QR. Yeah.
I'm sure the kids love
in the moment patches. We see patch hats, patch jackets, just patch it on.
That's great.
Yeah.
Pass it on.
That's
And
great.
then Kelly's favorite.
Yes.
Kelly, our content manager over there. What's up, Kel? What do we got here?
These are, it's twofold. Part one, we have mints on the top, and at the bottom, it's lip balm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fresh breath and
Yes.
soft lips.
Yes, that's right. Double whammy. Kill two birds
Can't
with one
lose.
stone.
That would come up. That's my wife. No,
Yes.
she needs it.
So how do people find out more about you, more about Legacy Digital? How do we find you on the web?
Absolutely. So our website's legacydigital.com if you guys are just wanting to look into what we do. We're on all social media platforms, Legacy Digital Media. Me personally, I'm most active on Instagram.
Okay.
So Q, just the letter Q, Moldrik, my last name, Moldrik. That's my personal brand.
That's great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Wonderful.
You crush it, Q.
Thank you,
crush it.
guys.
Any other questions, Tom? I think we took a lot of notes.
Yeah.
I got more podcasts to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got more inspiration. So thanks, Q.
Yeah, no,
This
guys,
has been
thanks for
great.
having me. I really appreciate it.
One last question
Yeah.
for you.
Oh, I knew he got one.
Oh, yeah.
I knew something is
Yeah.
up there.
So imagine somebody wants to be like you, right?
Yes.
They're in college. Maybe they're studying marketing. Maybe they're studying hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to own their own digital agency and be a successful badass woman just
Yeah.
like you someday.
Yeah.
What advice would you give that person?
2 pieces of advice.
Sure.
First one, hire mentors. Get mentors right away. People that you want to be like, go start working underneath them, even if it's for free. I wish I got mentors way earlier on in life. And I just kind of was, if you would have known me in my former life, you would have been like, there's no way that she's going to be like this one day. But it just takes somebody believing in you truly to break down a lot of barriers. And the second thing, hire that employee, right? We get stuck in this world of being a solopreneur. And even if you are in college getting out and you want to start your own business, I'm speaking from entrepreneurship, hire a freelancer, hire a part-time person, because it just helps you focus on growing the business versus being in the business, working on it versus in it. Now, if you're a college student, build your portfolio, work for free, go out and offer brands and like nonprofits. And there's so many opportunities for you to go out and create content to build your portfolio. At our last job interview, the last hire we made, we had over 300 applicants. And it was easy, very easy to weed out the people that we didn't want, because we want somebody that comes in with a strong creative approach. And when we have these applicants with beautiful websites and portfolios of all types of different brands that they've worked with and assets they've created and videos they've created, it shows initiative, it shows creativity, and they're going to be bringing value to the business. So this generation, like I have younger siblings and they're like, well, we want to get paid. I'm like, go work for free. That's how it works. You got to go create that opportunity. And you might not get paid right away, but that will come back tenfold when you're ready to get a job, right? When you're putting your application in, you will make it to the first round and possibly the second round simply because of your portfolio.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Great closing thought, Mike. Any
Yeah.
other questions?
Well, just to add on to that, when they're coming up, it's maybe not an employee, but maybe it's a collaborator. Maybe it's another teammate that you're not paying because you don't have any money to hire an employee, but it's another person that you can help.
Yeah.
So I always tell that when I go to the colleges, I'm like, make shit up.
Yeah.
Just find the chess club needs social media, and social media, but you don't know how to create content. Find a partner to help you out with that, and just build your team within that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. That's it. Like right now I could say, oh, I'm bringing all these AI services in-house. Nope. We are partnering. There's no point in you wasting your time trying to learn a whole new service model when you could just partner with somebody. We do partnerships. So we basically say, hey, here's a contract. We work with you, and every time we send you a client, you give us a 15% kickback, vice versa.
Yes.
If you send us a client, we'll give you a kickback.
Yes.
So it's a win-win, and the client's going to be happy, and they're probably going to refer more people to you. And it's just because it might be an easy financial yes in the moment doesn't mean it's a good long-term yes down the road. So that's why it's best to be like, hey, go to this person. They know what they're doing, and they get it done the right way the first time.
Here's another book, Who Not How.
I've heard of that. It's on my Audible list. I'm listening to Profit First right now.
Profit First. I'll write that one down. Profit First.
So good. I wish I read it like 3 years ago,
Right.
but Who Not How is on my wish list.
Co-authored by Dan Sullivan. You'd think I'd make money in affiliate marketing type of thing on this because I talk about it all the time.
Yeah, it's the second time I've heard you reference
I know.
It's
the
on my
listeners are
list
eyeballing
too.
right now.
Yeah.
The listeners are eyeballing right now, I'm sure. But I'm listening like Who Not How. It's almost like a Dale Carnegie. Where it's like duh. It's like, how to win friends.
But
with
that's
people,
what we need. It's the foundation.
Yes, the foundation, and to reread this, over and over. But Who Not How is, you know what I'm saying? It's find the person that knows how to fix the challenge that you're banging your head against.
Yep.
Don't do it yourself. Find somebody to help you do it.
Sometimes we need to listen to that and be like, oh, you're right. I knew this the whole time. Right. But here I am doing completely opposite.
You're doing it right, though. Q, you're doing it right. You're doing it all, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you both for having me.
You bet.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thank you, Matthew and Kelly. Appreciate y'all. Thanks to Charleston Media Solutions for sponsoring the studio time. Thanks to Jerry Feelsgood for the beats. You know about Jerry?
Yes. I sure do.
Yeah.
We used to work with High Rise.
Okay.
They used to be one of our clients, and Jerry did a lot of DJing.
Yeah, he's a DJ downtown. I haven't seen him live though. He had him on the show, so he's on the. He was a guest.
I met him a few times before,
and he gave us a track.
Oh, I
so
love
the
that.
opening track is what we use.
Hell yeah! Look, and we're working with local. I love it.
That's exactly right.
Shout out to Jerry.
That's right. That's right. All right, folks. Appreciate your time. We'll talk to you all next time.